Good morning, everybody. Good evening if you're in Europe like I am. This is Stone Mountain Sunday Meditation. My name is Kaisu. You're warmly welcome to join us. And we start with our aspiration prayer and Shantideva verse, like always. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. Excuse me. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. And let us start settling to our meditation practice. Just perhaps first acknowledging how fortunate we are to be healthy enough to practice, to have freedom to practice, to join our Sangha this morning or at later time. And we can start by settling and tuning into our bodies, perhaps starting with our feeling into our seat, whether we're sitting on a chair or a cushion or on a meditation stool like I am. And just feel into the weightedness, the quality of weightedness of your body. You can kind of surrender your body weight to the surface you're sitting on and just, in a way, relax while maintaining the upright position. Let us briefly scan through our bodies, recognize our feet, foot soles perhaps on the floor, our ankles, shins, calves, our knees, our thighs, the pelvic area, our hips, our lower belly. We can check whether we're able to relax that, feel a sense of spaciousness there. Our lower back, our mid back, between our shoulder blades. Let us allow the natural curve of our spine to be there. We don't need to tense up to stay upright. And in the front of our torso, around our belly button, chest area, our throat, all can stay open and relaxed. Both of our shoulders, arms and elbows, wrists to our hands can all stay open and loose, relaxed. And we can keep our hands either resting on our thighs, upper thighs, or they can be folded in our lap. And depending on our kind of mental state of energy, we can variate our with our gaze. Typically, we have our eyes gently, softly open. We're gazing downward. If you're really, really hyperactive, you can gently close your eyes, and that might help to turn inward. If at any point of the practice you're getting sleepy, drowsy, you can just try and open your eyes a little bit more, a little bit wider. And we just scan briefly our whole face, including our jaw, eyes, our inner lining of our mouth, tongue, all can be relaxed and soft. Our forehead, our scalp, our hair, our ears, our whole body can stay soft and open. As we continue settling into our practice, I thought I'm going to briefly share a couple of very small observations I've done in relation to practice and my everyday life, hoping that this is somehow helpful or useful for you. But I invite you to listen to it in a meditative manner. So, coming to the practice of today, I was actually reflecting upon our aspiration prayer we always begin with, especially in relation to the year coming to an end, and often being a time when people take stock and kind of reflect upon things that they might want to change or improve in their lives. And so looking at the aspiration prayer for boundless thoughts, I personally felt that the first 3 lines of the prayer are relatively, not saying easy, but simple, and in a way easy to understand, easy to tune into. For me personally, may all beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May all beings be free of pain and its causes. However, coming to the last line, which I'm going to look so I pronounce it accurately, may no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. So that, however, I've lately, especially maybe this year, felt to be way more challenging than wishing everyone to be free from suffering and be happy. And so realizing actually that clinging and spurning is and can be a source of suffering, and is a source of suffering for me. I started to look into my everyday habits and identified something that has really kind of little by little sneaked in throughout the pandemic, because of a lack of face-to-face contact. And I'm now talking about my phone, which became a main kind of channel or portal to find connection to other beings. So I also now recognize that the phone at this point in time has become a source of a lot of mostly clinging, but some spurning as well to me, a wish to receive messages from particular people, actually almost fear of receiving messages from other people. And so there's a lot of restlessness, anticipation, even anxiety in times. But in any case, the phone has started to feel like a kind of an extension of my sensory apparatus. So this has a physiological component. It's not just a mental concept of me thinking, I wish this person would send me a message. I wish someone else wouldn't, and so forth. But really, really, I started to recognize a physiological response to my phone, including a constant awareness where it is in the space. And now, this year coming to its end, and actually for me, where I'm living, this is really the darkest time of the year. It's the time naturally it feels it's kind of inviting for introspection, reflection, silence, and rest. All of this clinging and spurning with my phone and hyper awareness of where it is not helpful. I didn't experience this as helpful. So while this is something very mundane, I wanted to share it with you just because I'm currently experimenting with actually switching off my phone for the night. To some of you, this may sound ridiculously easy. Some of you completely unthinkable. For me, I recognize some resistance to it. But I also recognize that just turning it to silent wasn't really enough to prevent me starting to think about whether there were any messages, whether I missed something, and so forth. And now, for a couple of weeks, I've been switching it off in the evening. And actually, I did realize that there is also a physiological response to that it was and is as if I managed to gather my energy that has been directed outward. I managed to gather it back into my body sphere, and I actually managed to be in the room where I'm at, in my bedroom, feel the safety and comfort of it. And so perhaps this sounds familiar to you or not. Either way, I hope that you might find time to reflect upon your life and your everyday life, and whether there's something you might wish to fine-tune or adapt to create more wholesome and healthy ways of being. And I think that was pretty much what I wanted to share with you. Also in relation to the type of practice we're doing today, which to me feels like a foundation, it's a fundament for many other kinds of perhaps more complex practices. This is something that I always find beneficial, even necessary for myself. So we can now just let our let the stories I told kind of dissolve in the space. And again, refresh our sense of being in the body, feeling the body in space, the weight of it, gravity. And let us now start our meditation, which has two different components, one being focusing on our breath, and the second one, chanting the sacred syllable Hum. We're going to start with the first one, and now gently place our attention to our breath or our process of breathing. And you can do that in any area of your body that seems natural to you, such as perhaps under your nostrils or your throat, chest area, or your deep belly, if you're able to. And for some people, it may be easier to follow the movement of the breath up and down along your torso. All of these options and more are fine, as long as we're focusing, placing our attention gently on our breath. And we're going to do that silently for a while, and I'm going to let you know when we switch to the chanting. You will notice that your mind starts to wander sooner or later. That's all right. When we notice that, we're just time after time gently returning to focus on our breath. And let us now switch to chanting the sacred syllable Hum, which is the sound of the enlightened mind. And we're going to do that in our own pace for a couple of minutes and chanting Hum twice each breath. Om, Om. Let us now gently return to placing our attention to our breath. You can just take a moment of tuning into your body, your whole body, whether anything has shifted during the chanting, which is quite a different modality and vibration as breathing only. And also, if at any point you need to refresh your posture, adjust your position a little bit, please feel free to do that. It's always good to be fresh when possible. And so we're gonna follow our breath or the process of breathing silently for a while again. Let us chant the sacred syllable home for a few minutes once more. Om, om, And again, let us return to placing our attention to our breath, process of breathing, while also acknowledging how our bodies are as a result of chanting for a while. Let us gently start widening our attention from our breath to include our whole body and being, the room where we're sitting. You can just gently return to the here and now with our Sangha. And as our meditation comes to closure, we are going to chant our dedication prayer and blessing. I'm going to read the names from the chat and light a candle. By this good may I swiftly once become a great Guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And we're going to dedicate the merit of our practice today to all beings, and especially to Caleb for clarity, Sylvia, Rolando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Chris for health, Oren, Sarah, Francis, Terry, Christian and family, our teachers, our Sangha, Galina, Surabhi, Lori, Nina, all suffering animals, all suffering from anxiety, all beings. And we're gonna close by chanting another sacred syllable, Ah. And as we do that, we're gonna visualize a sphere of white light from our chest area to radiate to all beings in our hometown, our country, continent, the planet, and other planets, the cosmos, as far as our imagination can go. Thank you for joining me today. So good to see you. Emily, are there announcements at this point?
Yes, so later today, we'll have the Yeshe Sogil practice at 1 p.m. It's a peer-led practice. We will not have Sunday meditation on Christmas Day, but we will have our first Sunday and Sunday meditation and Dharma conversations on New Year's Day. And then Saturday, January 7th, we begin our foundational practices Nundro program. If you're interested in that, we just did a Q&A, a live Q&A about it on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. And it's a great program. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. And so there's still Sunday meditation next week, right?
Yes.
So that is there. And meanwhile, I'm gonna wish everybody happy rest of the year, happy times of introspection if you're so inclined, and looking forward to see you in the new year. Be well. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kaisu. That was lovely.
Thank you.
And all of those wishes to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, sleep well.
Yeah.
Thank you.